Guys, we're listening to the broccoli song. I found it. Oh my goodness. How fantastic. What a better song to talk to the vegan trainer. Oh goodness. Oh. Oh goodness. So I did message with him and he was running late on a podcast interview, so he should be here any moment. Oh, so fun. Backwards, it's Coley Brock. Oh. Oh. Oh, you guys have got to love this as much as I do. Oh, how fantastic. Oh, Kathy, tell me you love it. Oh, fucking broccoli. So, if you guys are ever bored, I suggest searching up some parody music if you guys are ever bored. Because I don't think there's anything better than the broccoli song. And I'll tell you what, if your kids think broccoli's not cool, then I say you play the song and show them all your best dance moves, and I'm sure that they'll agree then that broccoli's really super cool. Just, if you pull out all your best mom dance moves, you'll totally have them eating broccoli in like 2 seconds. Wow. Okay, so let's see if we see him yet. I do not see him in watching yet, so it should just be a moment. I did get a message because I did pop on earlier, and we tried for a few minutes, and we had a couple laughs. And I did get a message from him that he was running late and that he was good to go at 6:30. So, again, with Instagram and its good fun notifications, it might or might not inform him that I am live. So we'll just shoot him a quick message again and let him know we are here, we are ready. And then you know what? If he's not here yet, I want to see some votes. I think we should dance to the broccoli song again. But I have to see hearts, because you know me, I can't dance 2 times. Like, hello. Okay, so I'm just going to let him know, ready when you are. And I'm on. Dancing. Should I tell him we're dancing to the broccoli song? Or should I just let him figure that out? Let's just let him figure it out. Is that mean? I don't know. I'm laughing, which makes me wonder if it's mean, but it doesn't feel mean to me because, you know, it's a song about broccoli, and how could that be bad? Oh, and it does. It seriously makes me laugh. If you guys haven't seen the video, I'll load it up so you guys can follow the link, because you have to see the visual of the people dancing. Looks like mini trees. So delightful. Oh my goodness. I think parody music is my favorite thing in the world. Crock pot. Oh, I love it. Oh. Broccoli. Oh, I love it. Oh, so delightful. Right? My kid actually loved broccoli when he was little. I think I sold it really well. So fun. And again, if your kids don't think broccoli is cool, pull out all your best mom moves. And they'll totally think broccoli's cool. So fun. Oh. Backwards, it's Coley Brock. Oh, fantastic. So fantastic. I think that's the best part about running late. Twice. Oh, so fantastic. You guys definitely need to watch the video. Because who can actually be that creative? I want to know. And also, I think I should look up what other songs they made. You know, perhaps they talk about asparagus or, you know, pickles. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let me just double check my messages. I'm so lucky that my third old phone still kind of works-ish. Enough to play songs. Okay, I'm on. So then he'll know. Yeah, he probably doesn't know we've been on for 10 minutes already. Dancing to the Broccoli song, which I should load up again. Just because when we leave, we'll listen to it again. Because it is fantastical. Oh, and by the way, I think my son's gonna love this video the best. Oh, it's gonna be so awesome when it loads on YouTube. Thanks, Mom. Oh, so fantastic. So, ta-da, 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 so exciting. Oh my goodness. So, should we load up a bit of the Broccoli song or just tell them we were dancing? And I say we. Hello!
Hey, hey!
Hello! So, we were dancing to a really funny Broccoli song that I found. Because I was explaining to them, you know, if your kids don't think broccoli's cool, I think you should play this song, bring out all your, like, best mom dance moves, and they'll be like, you know what, you were right. Broccoli is so cool, Mother.
That's right. I love my broccoli.
I think it's my favorite. So first, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do. We're so excited to meet you, by the way.
Well, I'm glad to be here, of course. And to answer your question, so my name is Tay, of course. I go by the Vegan Trainer. I am, of course, keto. I've been keto for a while. And basically what I do is I teach majority of my clients how to either thrive in a full-time keto state, or we cycle in and out of ketosis based on their goals. So some people want to gain muscle. I use a little cycling for that. And like I said, I'm full-time with this, nutritionist, personal trainer, holistic, practitioner, you name it. So been doing it for a while, and I'm just glad to be served.
Yay. And disclaimer, because some of the people who will watch are yours and some are mine. I'm not vegan or vegetarian. I am fully keto, but I equally support from the middle. Vegan keto all the way to carnivore keto. And I think that we all have a place somewhere in between. And I think it's time that we stop pointing the finger and saying, your keto isn't keto. And what I want to tackle right off the bat is the first thing I hear at large in the community is, oh, you can't vegan keto. Vegan keto. Vegans, get your own whatever healthy. Keto's mine, and mine has bacon and meat. So sorry for you, you don't get to be healthy. Too bad for you. You already picked vegan. You picked your thing. You already have your thing, so you don't get to share my thing. And I want to tackle that first. Now, can you vegan keto?
Of course, of course. And one of the biggest reasons why I think it's important for us to start merging the worlds is because I've heard maybe one or two people say this, but not many people are I guess, sending this message that we're trying to find the optimum diet. We're trying to reach the same end goal, which is health, wellness, and to thrive, to live a thriving life. Yes. And as long as people are coming away from what is known to be the standard American diet, I'm happy. I don't care how you do it.
Oh, reach.
So, I try not to be that what's known to be the judgy vegan, because there are a lot of judgy vegans. There are a lot of judgy ketoers. And what I'm pretty much attempting to do is merge the two worlds and say, hey, we can live in harmony. All right? If you want to do your bacon and your eggs, fine. If you want to do avocados and olives and do it plant-based, fine. But like you said, and then to answer your question, it's absolutely possible to live a thriving lifestyle as a vegan and be keto. And that's not just me. That's not just me doing it. I have hundreds of clients that have gone through this. and same thing. They have very positive results, clear skin. They have the weight loss. They have the cognitive increase. We're able to fast longer. We're able to do a lot of things that the studies and the science is proving to show. So it's definitely possible.
I love it. And you know what? I won't lie. I've gotten into a few arguments with people who told me you can't. And I said, explain to me why you can't, though. The basis of a ketogenic diet is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. So please explain to me why you can't get that out of a plant-based diet. You're already eating a solely plant-based diet already. So really, who's to say you don't get the extra fat? Poo on you. Because that's really the biggest change, right? Was that the biggest change, or were you always vegan? I guess I never asked that.
Yes, so I've been vegan now 9 years.
Okay.
And I started out, before I knew anything about what a keto diet was, I started out my personal journey with a higher fat diet, lower to moderate fibrous carbs. So I was doing a lot of nuts, seeds, because of course when you go vegan, where's your protein?
Yes.
So my goal was to make sure I got the protein, which I use nuts and seeds to get there.
Okay.
And then of course I loved avocados. I'm a huge fan of olives, and everything else was vegetables, and I would throw some fruits in there. And I was basically, when I first went vegan, I was basically living a keto-ish lifestyle already, just didn't know what it was. Had very great results, but I started to get somewhat popular in the vegan community, and people in the vegan community started to ask questions. Why are you eating this way? What about more fruits and grains?
Yes.
What about your beans? Why aren't you eating these things? Try this, try that. I started going to different veg fests, and they would feed me these different foods. And veganism, like keto or like anything else, can become like a gang or a cult. And if you're not doing what the gang is doing, then you are kind of ostracized or you pushed out.
Yes.
So I started to eat more grains like my vegan gang members were doing. I started to eat more, beans and, different things like that. And guess what?
Yes.
I started to gain weight.
No. How can you gain weight being vegan, though?
Exactly. And I mention this because I am not your average guy. You know, I work out 6-7 times a week. I do a lot of physical activity. I'm very active. I play basketball twice a week. I lift weights. I mean, everything I do is moving. For me to gain fat around my stomach lets you know there's a problem there.
Yes.
So, with me saying that, I knew that something wasn't right. And that's what started me back down the path of getting back into my studies, getting back into the book instead of just listening to what the average vegan was doing.
Yes.
And that, of course, led me back to keto, and then led me back to simply, not even just keto, it just led me back to a higher fat approach. And that's where I landed, and I stayed.
Nice. So Lauren wants to know exactly what we're talking about. So we're talking about the possibilities of different versions of a ketogenic lifestyle, be it vegan, be it vegetarian, be it carnivore, be it regular standard keto. For me, I do a post-bariatric version of a ketogenic diet. So that's kind of what we're talking about. And honestly, really just encouraging you guys to be more open to other ways of eating, because the end goal is for us all to move away from the bad standard American diet and start to eat healthy, whatever that looks like for you.
Exactly.
And I think we're all responsible to find that. So you explained a little bit about how you found your perfect version of, a higher fat, and it really, really works for you. And I want to talk a little bit about how that looks when you take that idea outside into your community. Because we already kind of touched on the gang mentality and how it's, you're doing it our way or you're out the door. So how did that look for you when you were like, hey, so I'm going to kind of do it my way? Anyways.
Yes. So a lot of people, I get a lot of kickback, even still to this day. Many vegans saying that keto shouldn't be done as, vegan lifestyle, or it's unhealthy, or you're going to die soon, or you're going to, there's so many things that happen. It's crazy. And I find it funny because the same reasons vegans get mad of non-vegans, they do the same thing. Because non-vegans ask, where do you get your protein? Veganism is not sustainable. You get all this kickback. And then the vegans turn around, many of them, they turn around, and someone who's doing a vegan keto diet, they ask some of the same questions, or they give some of the same criticism about, you're going to die, or you're going to, so many things are going to happen to your family if you do this. And it's just so much, I consider it to be emotional tension.
Yes.
People are emotional about their diets. And I say that not only from experience, but I also say that just from studying the science behind a lot of the food that we intake and how we, how we so love our foods, especially our carbs. So
yes.
When you take carbs from someone, it can be dangerous. It can be very dangerous because people fight back when you take their carbs. So the average vegan is eating anywhere from 3, 4, 5, 600 grams of carbs a day. And, telling them that you have to go under 100 grams is, it's crazy. So, somebody said, I'm currently reading the book. Say, well, thank you.
Oh, yay.
Yes, that book kind of talks about, in that book I mentioned, for those of you who don't know, my weight loss journey. I was over 310 pounds at one point in time.
Wow.
I had diabetes. I had high blood pressure, horrible eczema. So the skin you see now, this is new skin. Okay, I did not always have this skin.
Mine's new too.
And I credited it all to my diet. Okay, and to be honest, a higher fat diet. Like I said, when I first went vegan, I did a higher fat approach, not knowing what keto was, and then eventually, through more science and just time, studies of science and time, I realized that I was doing vegan keto, and it worked. So I came back to that same approach, and I'm not leaving. So
think no matter how anybody eats, like, honestly, it does not matter how anybody eats, they're going to defend it almost to the death, because we feel so emotionally connected to our beliefs about it. You know, our mother said it, or our doctor said it, people we trust our whole lives have said it, and nobody wants to be that one that walks into a room and says, so everything you know about food, totally wrong. No offense, sorry, but it's totally wrong. So I think the answer to that is we show people just by living it, you know, by enjoying what we choose and encouraging them to find their own perfect fit. So I want to talk to you about some of, and I know they'll be the basic questions because I have the same curiosities other people do. And a lot of people will message me and say, you know, Dory, do you have a vegetarian version of this or a vegan version of this? And I have a limited knowledge about ingredients and what you would use instead. So the number one question I get is, I want to go vegetarian or vegan. What can I use for an egg substitute? Because almost all your keto baking takes eggs. That's what rises everything. So that would be my number one question. What do you use instead of egg in everything?
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of vegan egg replacements are coming. They're hitting the market like crazy now. To be honest with you, there's so many new vegan products. I can't keep up with them. So there are vegan egg replacements for baking, especially that are still keto friendly, because a lot of vegans use applesauce as an egg replacement.
Yes.
But of course, applesauce isn't keto.
No.
For most people. And yes. I say that because I've been playing around with the keto diet, and basically I've been raising in my car to see how far I can go without getting kicked out of ketosis. And I've personally been able to eat upwards of 150, 200 grams of carbs with my activity level.
Yes.
And stay around 1.5 millimolars a day. So that's subjective, you know, to the person. But also, and it's just me being honest, I teach a lot of my clients, I teach a lot of my any person who asks any question about keto and different replacements like eggs to do baking and other things. I keep it simple. When you come over to a vegan lifestyle, I try to keep it as plant-based and simple as possible.
Okay.
So I saw someone ask a question about what kind of fats do I use.
Ooh, that's a good one. I was going to ask that one.
Go ahead.
I said that's a good one. I was going to ask that one. Mm-hmm. What fats?
So some of the fats that I do, avocado, big avocado.
Yes.
And I will scale up my avocado. I'll eat 2 or 3 a day. Also olives. I don't know.
Oh, I love.
At my story.
Love.
Maybe the last hour or two, I just ate about 500 calories of olives. So those are 2 of my huge, like, favorite fats right there.
Okay.
But of course, you can do many types of seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, which also chia seeds and flax seeds. If you soak them, they get like this gelatin consistency. That's also an egg replacement.
So this one is hemp.
There we go.
Hemp.
Seeds. That's what I'm talking about.
And so this one is flax. And I have perfect. The chia too.
That is preparation. That's what and that's what it's all about. There are so many different types of seeds. I personally like pumpkin seeds. For a lot of people who, my men especially, who want to get the muscle, who want to get prostate health, it's really good to eat pumpkin seeds if you want your prostate in good condition.
Okay.
Also, I do a lot of various nuts, and I soak all of my nuts and seeds. People ask me, why is that? Why is that? Well, I soak and sprout the nuts and seeds simply so that we take care of the enzyme inhibitors that are in these nuts and seeds.
Ooh.
So that's a new word for some people. Some people don't know about enzyme inhibitors, and a lot of my clients come to me with digestive issues, and it's usually just because of the standard American diet. They haven't been eating foods that have enzymes, so they're already deficient in enzymes. Their body's robbing them, basically robbing themselves of the current enzymes they have. So when they eat other foods, they don't have any enzymes to take care of this and digest this food. So we soak our nuts and seeds so that we take care of the enzyme inhibitors, which, just to make it simple, if you eat these these nuts and seeds without soaking them, in most cases, it can slow down and sometimes really wreak havoc on your digestive system. So it just makes it a little more bioavailable. And it's the same as somebody just asked, is it the same as activated nuts? Yes, this is pretty much activating your nuts and your seeds. So yes, that's a great question.
Well, and I love that because that's something I've never heard before. And I think I eat a higher nut and seed-based diet than most people do. I love them. I digest them well. They work well for my system. I buy all my seeds and nuts raw, and I make things like pumpkin seed flour, and I swap that out instead of a higher carb, say almond flour. This is only 3 grams of carbs per serving instead of 10 of almond. So that's how you can pare down on your extra carbs. If you want to go, carb down, you can swap out in your recipes just a lower carb nut or seed. But I did not know to soak them.
Yes. It's subjective to the person who's ingesting them. I've noticed some people get heartburn or indigestion from not soaking them, but some people have fairly healthier digestive systems, and they can handle the non-soaked nuts and seeds. And I personally have noticed it's not. I don't want to say this. I have to say this carefully because people will take it and run with it. It's not as crucial to soak many of your seeds as crucial as it is to soak your nuts.
Okay.
That's what I will say. And then, of course, when it comes to your chia seeds, I've noticed that soaking those are really crucial because of the digestion. They soak up a lot of moisture. And
yes.
If you eat them without soaking them, you may get some problems.
Yes. Chia pudding is one of my favorites. I think it is like a gift from the heavens, and I will never miss oatmeal again because you can add everything to it. I add chia, I add flax, I add some walnuts, some pecan, soak it overnight in coconut milk or almond milk, and you can either have it cold. At Easter time, I made it rainbow color for kids because hello, who doesn't want rainbow chia pudding? Come on.
I love it.
Or you can warm it up like oatmeal and throw, some ghee on there and a little bit of cinnamon, and it brings me back to the feeling of oatmeal without that lead balloon in my stomach after I ate oatmeal. Because the comfort lasted for about 5 minutes, and then the discomfort was incredibly longer.
I love chia pudding. Chia pudding is one of my go-tos when I want something kind of sweet, but still, keto friendly. That's one of my go-tos because you can do so many things to it. I like coconut milk with the chia seeds, and then it gets good. And then of course I do a few berries on my keto approach, so I'll throw some blueberries in there.
Nice.
Really does it nicely. I love it. So I see a question here. Oh, what do you think about lectins?
Yes.
So Dr. Gundry has done a very good job on breaking down the whole lectins. I don't know if anybody has read The Plant Paradox. That's what I'm referencing to. However, lectins are or can be cooked or soaked out, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So they're not as, in my experience, they're not as much of a problem as long as you prepare the food the correct way. So a lot of the lectins that people have been worried about over time, even Dr. Gundry himself explains how maybe pressure cooking some of these, which we don't eat grains, but pressure cooking some of the grains and the beans to get rid of the lectins that are in other foods, maybe soaking them, because in history tells us that's how they were prepared once upon a time.
Yes.
They were soaked, and then they were cooked, and then they were soaked and fermented even more. This is where a lot of our fermented foods come from. So there's ways to get rid of the lectins and kind of activate the food like we talked about earlier. So I don't really pay too much attention to it. First of all, because I eat a fairly lectin-free diet anyway. I don't eat a lot of beans and grains, so. But that was a great question.
Okay. And they want to know what is your main protein go-to, and that's an amazing question because I would be curious about that too. What's your main source of protein generally?
That's a great question. like I was saying earlier, a lot of my protein, especially in the beginning when I first started the vegan diet 9 years ago, came from nuts, seeds, vegan protein powders. Of course, there are some really good plant-based protein powders out. I always tell people, and I'm sorry if I'm going to kind of squash some of the favorite plant proteins. Make sure your protein has enzymes. Okay. We just talked about enzymes. So if you're taking in a protein supplement, you probably want the enzyme protease somewhere in the mix because that's what breaks down protein and helps you to absorb it better. So as long as you're finding some good quality protein sources, that's fine. Now, of course, I don't personally do a lot of, I don't do much soy at all unless I'm on the road because I travel a lot. If I have to have soy, if it's in my food, I will eat it, but I don't eat soy on a regular basis. That's just a personal preference. This is another thing vegans they'll try to gang up on you about, but I'm ready. You know, I will fight back.
I'm ready to go.
No, but I don't do a lot of soy simply because my body doesn't feel well. I've had negative benefits for me, so I don't take it. But you can do tofu, tempeh, soybeans. People do soy milk. These are all protein sources in a plant-based fashion. So you can do that. There are other things that are coming available. Hemp tofu, or they call it hempeh. So it's made from hemp seeds, fermented hemp seeds, and it has a consistency just almost like tempeh. So that's another good protein option that I actually will eat that one. Of course, you have like Beyond Burgers that taste just like what I remember a burger to taste like. They taste just like that. So Beyond Burgers has really good protein, and that's made from pea protein.
Okay.
So there are different options out there, and they're keto. I think it's like 2 net carbs per patty, and it's like 20 grams of protein. So
that's not
really
bad.
Good protein in those.
And how do you feel about things like nutritional yeast? Is that something that you make a lot of use of?
I personally like nutritional yeast, especially for your B vitamins, if that's what you're going for. You know, you're trying to get the B vitamins in because, of course, vegans, we get B12 deficiency if you don't stay on top of it. And I've noticed that is a great way to get in the B12 and other B vitamins. So yeah, I love it.
Nice. I experimented with it quite a bit when I did my dairy-free. I went dairy-free for a month, hoping it would help with some things, and it didn't. But it really, really helped with some of those cheesy flavors. When I did like a dairy-free loaded cauliflower, I used ghee and nutritional yeast and some coconut cream and then seasoned it up, and it really did still have that cheesy, creamy texture. So, let me scroll and see if we have any other questions. Oh, okay. I heard soy is not good for your hormones. What do you think? And you kind of explained your own personal, and I was going to ask about that too, because I know that a lot of people who eat vegetarian or vegan rely very heavily on soy-based, tofu-based, faux meat kind of replacements, and they're very quick to be like, you back off. I eat my soy, you back off.
Yeah, I personally, from my clients and myself, I personally noticed that soy does affect our hormones negatively, for me especially. And the reason why I say this, at one point in time in my, I guess you can call it career with women clients, we were working on menstrual cycle issues. That was what I was known for a while. And a lot of women would come to me because they were having 7+ days of menstruation, and it was horrible. It was cramps, and it was fibroids, and it was back pain. And what I noticed is that when I would put them on a plant-based diet and take away a few things that they were eating, and some of them were already eating plant-based, but just eating a little too carby. They were eating too many carbs. They were eating too many processed foods. So when we would kind of carve away some of the foods, menstrual cycle would get better. It would go down to 2-3 days, minimum bleeding, no cramps, some of the fibroids were shrinking. And then a lot of the clients, and now over time, this became hundreds of people that I've worked with. Over time, people would say, I feel better. Can I start adding
back
to my... And almost every time they would add the soy back in, their menstrual cycle would go back up. Their menstrual cycle would go back to 7 days. The cramps would come back. I would notice other things. They would break out, which is a direct sign of hormone being out of whack. So that in itself, after 2-3 people, it's like, okay, maybe those people are, going through something. But after 10, 20, 30, 50 people that I'm working with have some of the same things happen to them after introducing soy back in, I started to think, okay, doesn't matter what the studies are saying, something's not right here.
No.
And I, of course, for all of my clients, since I've been training 12 years, and I like to take myself through self-experiments to see, is it true or not? So, same thing with myself. I went and got test labs done for my testosterone. I just wanted to check it out. And I started eating soy 3 or 4 times a week. I noticed a few things. My skin did start to break out, which once again, that's a direct sign that the hormones are kind of out of whack. And then about 3 months in, I noticed my testosterone dropped. And a few other things started to happen. And I instantly cut it. I said, you know what? This is not it.
Yeah, I think if you want to deter men, you just said the magic words right there. What? Testosterone did what now?
Yes. So yeah, once my testosterone dropped, I noticed it really affect a lot of the manlier things about me. Ooh. And when that happens, I'm out. I can't deal with that.
Done and done.
For good, and I promise you, nothing else changed. And I make sure, I always teach a lot of my clients, don't change too many variables about your diet, because you don't know which one is messing it up or making it better.
Yes.
So literally, I took soy, I put it in, and I took it out, and that was the only thing that changed. And I realized that everything, once it was back out, everything else went back to where it was. I was totally fine.
Oh.
And I kind of cross-reference this with a lot of vegan or non-vegan, complaints that they give vegans. That, when you go vegan, you're going to get low testosterone. Well, this is true. And more than likely, it's because the vegans that they are testing are all eating soy. So, there you go.
Right? Because all the studies are really super accurate, and they're being really honest about what they're presenting, and they're really aimed at our better health, right? It's not about the food industry or how to make more money or how to make people addicted to food and eat more. It's totally about our health. Mm-hmm. I'm sure of it. I'm pretty sure anyways. So on a closing out thought, I would love to hear your thoughts on taking the time to do your own research, because not all of this research that's available is, let's be honest, legitimate or truthful. So I'd love for you just to have your closing out thought be about how you go about and how you recommend for people to do their own research and figure out for them.
Exactly. That's a great question. I personally, I suggest for my vegans who are watching, any vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, whatever you consider yourself, you have to go across the border. And what I mean by that is you have to go outside the vegan community. You have to go outside the vegetarian community, because outside of myself, I don't know many people teaching or talking about keto on this type of level, if you will. But as soon as you cross the border and you go into the meat world, you have Dr. Dominic Agostino. You have Jimmy Moore, which I love Jimmy Moore.
I love Jimmy.
And also Dr. Jason Fung. These guys are talking about so many studies and so many, I guess you could say, client studies where they're doing real world research. Go read the book Keto Clarity by Jimmy Moore. Love that book. That's an amazing book.
I want a signed copy. I just recently won an autographed signed copy of that book. It is in the mail, baby.
I love
Boom.
I love Jimmy Moore is the man. I love Jimmy Moore.
Yes. Soul brother. He's
like
the man.
Jason Fung as well.
Yes.
A lot of my stuff that I research and that I reference, I'm always taking it back to Jason Funk, because he has been for years. I've been on Jason Funk for years, and he has been the leading guy in fasting, because I do a lot of fasting.
Yes.
And keto, and really just being not plant-based, but being fat adapted. So that's a very great sources there. And then also, he's not as big as these guys, but Dr. Daniel Pompa does a lot of good research and studies on not just being fat adapted, but being hormone optimized through diet variation. And this is what I touch on the most myself, because diet variation is basically the approach where you want to be able to burn all forms of fuel. So if I do have a carb day, it's not going to kill me like many keto people. You know, when they go keto, they're like, oh, if I have carbs, I feel sick. Well, we got to get you varied to where your body can burn both, because that's how we're actually meant to be.
Oh, I love it. I think that's the best closing out thought ever. And the only thing I could say beyond that is we definitely have to make time to do this again, because this was so much fun. And you're the man. That's my closing thought.
I appreciate it. And
I love it.
Yeah, I love to come back and do this again. You know, I try to go live really frequently, even on my page, just to, you know, keep pushing a lot of this stuff out, because like I said, I do realize there aren't many people in the vegan community talking about this. So I want to be the voice of vegan keto. And that's my goal, is to keep pushing it out. So yeah, I love to come back.
I love it. And anything I can do to help you out, you tag me on it. I will help. I will share. I will do what I can do to help you get the word out. Because at the end of the day, healthy is what matters, and what we eat to get there is up to us all. So
that's right.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Of course.
Have a great night.
You too.
Bye. Okay, guys, so give me a quick 2 minutes and we'll be back with Spirit Warrior Wendy, and we're going to talk about shortcut keto. What is it? Does it exist? And we're going to talk about some of our hidden shame and food, darling. This one could get fun. So give me 2 minutes and we'll see you shortly. Bye, guys.